Hello friends, I'm Brian, and this is Gizmo Board Games. This year I've been doing a look back at the games from 5, 10, and 15 or more years ago, every 4 months or so, and this is the final one of those videos as I look back at the games from 15, 20, 25, 30, etc., 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 years ago. I look at the games I played and enjoy. I look at some of the expansions from those time frames, and I look at the games I want to play. I would love to get to the table. This one, surprisingly, I thought originally it was going to be a longer video, but as I got digging up into some of the games from the various years, turns out that as time wears on, I'm just less excited about some of those older games, and we'll talk about that, I guess, in my want to play. So let's start off looking at my favorite games, and we'll do this kind of in chronological order by the fives. So looking back 15 years ago to 2008, I really enjoyed alphabetically here Dixit, just a great little art thinky, party style game where you're kind of guessing who picked what picture and then gaining points if you were correct, or if you were incorrect, or you got other people to guess yours wrong. It's been a while since I played it, but it's a lot of fun and enjoyable and fun for everyone. Then there's the classic card deck builder game Dominion. Keeps getting expansions. I think still there's new expansions coming out for Dominion. This is one that really stands the test of time for deck builders and just getting that genre flowing. And now there's a lot of deck builders, and deck building is almost a basis for a lot of new games that come out, as you're getting different action cards to do different actions on the board, whatever. But Dominion is just basic. Play cards, get things, play cards, get things to play more cards and get more things, and eventually, hopefully, try to score the most points. The theme is almost non-existent, but it's whatever. It does the job. It's a fun game that I used to own, and I moved it on because I just have played other games more since then that are deck builders that have learned from what Dominion brought to the table. And in 2008, Pandemic, still one of my all-time favorite games, just a great cooperative game that really established that genre as well. You know, tons of great co-ops have come from what Pandemic has done. Not only that, Pandemic itself has come out in varied options, so many different styles and versions, and the legacies and everything like that. And Pandemic is still putting out something new and different from time to time. I'm not sure when the last new game was, but I know there was one relatively recently. I believe it was the Star Wars one, Clone Wars, last year. So we'll see what they have coming up, I guess, next year. And then finally from 2008, Stone Age, a worker placement game that I don't know if that one started that genre necessarily, but it is definitely one of the originals in the worker placement genre and realm, and still a favorite of mine and easy to bring out, introduce to people and play. And I have enjoyed all kinds of worker placements. There's a number of them in my top 10 as well, and Stone Age kind of helped set that ball in motion. So some great games in all the different genres that really helped light the gaming industry. I think 2008 was one of the years that gaming really took off as a hobby, with a variety of things you can do within it other than just move around a board or move war chips. And then 2003, only one game that stood out to me is Alhambra, a game I really enjoy. It's a tableau builder, a tile layer game, a little bit of auction strategy going on, and buying and using the resources. I've enjoyed this one a lot. I haven't played it in a while, but I still have it. Obviously, it's right there. You can see behind me, and I'm happy to bring this one to the table again at some point. I couldn't find anything outstanding from 1998 in my opinion, so we'll move on to 1993, where Magic the Gathering came out. And I used to play Magic the Gathering a little bit. I never got fully into it, and when I did get into it, it was in the recent years. and I enjoy it, but Magic the Gathering is still growing, expanding, and it's probably still the most popular game on the planet, and I know a ton of people are still enjoying it today, even if it's not necessarily me. There's Magic the Gathering has literally basically helped hold up the board game industry. And then we'll skip back another 10 years and look at Jenga. I just wanted to highlight how back in 1983, Jenga was a game that came out for dexterity purposes, I guess, and everybody should know Jenga. You push a piece out and put it on top, push a piece out and put it on top, try not to get the tower to fall. That's how much the games have kind of grown since then, in the 30, 40 years since 1983. And then back in 1948, Scrabble. I am not a word person, but Scrabble, it's hard to believe, is 80 years old now? 75 years old? I can't math off the top of my head, apparently. But that game's been around for quite a while, and people are still playing and enjoying it. I know this because I've seen it still. The expansions from the 5s of 15 plus years ago. Only one of them really stood out. It seems like the more into the past we get with board games, the less expansions were really a thing because games just weren't as prevalent. There weren't thousands and thousands of games coming out every year needing expansions. There were only hundreds of games coming out. So 2008 Race for the Galaxy The Gathering Storm is in my big Race for the Galaxy box, and I've played all of that. And I just enjoy having those extra bits for one of my favorite games, so that's why that expansion stood out to me. All right, so what did I want to play? What do I still want to check out from 2008, 2003, 1998, etc., etc., etc.? Strangely enough, as I got past 2003, 25 plus years ago, not much stood out to me. It was a lot of kind of similar style games, lots of war games, mostly, and that just don't really interest me. And various other games that I guess just haven't stood the test of time because I haven't either heard of them or haven't heard much from them. A lot of kids games, because back then games were more marketed towards kids than anything because kids were the gamers, but nowadays everybody's a gamer. I think more adults who probably were kids in those days are now the gamers still and aren't as interested in those type of games. So what do I want to play that I haven't played still? From 2008, Le Havre is a Uwe Rosenberg game that I hear a lot about, and I'm really excited to check out and play. I just really enjoy the games of his I've played, and I've heard lots of great things about Le Havre. Battlestar Galactica is one of the mini versus one or semi-cooperative or whatever the case is, trader style of game. I'm just interested. I never really watched the show, but I do enjoy those style of games. What's the Walking Dead one? I can't think of it right now. Dead of Winter. Dead of Winter is one of those style games. Shadows over Camelot, I really enjoy, is another one with hidden traders kind of working against the group. So Battlestar Galactica, I've heard great things about in that realm, and I think it's not available anymore or hard to get your hands on. And then from 2008, Cosmic Encounter, 4X, I believe, style game where you've got asymmetric alien factions trying to lord over the board. I know this has been Tom Vassell of the Dice Tower's favorite game for the longest time. And so having gotten to the hobby from watching their videos, I've heard a lot about this game and I've not yet checked it out. So I would love to check it out sometime. And then the last couple are from 2003. Again, I mentioned I couldn't find much from before then that I really wanted to play. But 2003 had Amun-Re. I don't know a lot about that. I have Amun-Re the card game, but I haven't even played that one. I've read the rules. It's kind of a bidding game, and then you're building up a tableau of area. I presume Amun-Re is probably similar to that, some kind of auction bid style of game. And I've just heard great things about it. Haven't checked it out and don't know much about it other than that. And then finally, from 2003, Warcraft, the board game. I've been a World of Warcraft fan. I've mentioned that for a while. And so that's just why this game kind of interests me. I want to check that out. See how the board game plays from before the World of Warcraft game even was a thing. And then finally, the expansions from the past on the 5s. The only one I came up with was 1998's Catan, Cities and Knights. I don't believe I played this one. I played Catan. I know I've played it with the water, the rivers one, whatever that one's called. But I think that's the only expansion I've played with officially. So I'm interested in checking out Cities and Knights. I did want to throw something on. And again, I said just didn't seem like expansions were that prevalent the further back into the past you go, other than there was a lot of Carcassonne expansions too. But I haven't really played Carcassonne either, so I'd have to check that out again before I worried about any of the expansions I ran across. So there you have it, a quick little look back at my favorite games and expansions from the 5s from 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, etc. years ago, and the games I'm interested in looking into more. Let me know some I might have overlooked. Maybe I played them and just missed them. Maybe you think I should check them out because I didn't mention it as something I want to check out. Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. I come back every week or so with a new video, whether it's a video like this where I just discuss random topics. I do a top 10. I do reviews. Whatever the case is, come follow, check me out on the next video. I will see you then. Bye.